Hello, hi, I'm Vasco. I'm co-founder and CEO of Unbabel. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about our story, what we're doing, and where we're headed. So what we do, the way I'm talking about it right now, is we help companies scale their global customer support. So that means that if you are supporting markets like Germany or Japan, you can actually take, for the first time, your team that's servicing those markets in terms of supporting those customers and move them anywhere in the world without having to worry whether that team will actually speak the language of the market that they're serving. And this is important because what we're seeing right now in the world is that there is this customer service gap. That means that if you happen to be born in a country where you speak English, or if English is actually your second language but you are fluent in it, you have access to a lot of services that other people don't. It means that in general, you can talk to companies that you buy products from, you can get problems solved, you can get people to pay attention. But if you're not, that means that you end up being stuck, if you're lucky, on a 9 to 5 schedule to talking to one person that happens to be there on a Tuesday morning. And this means that it creates a lot of frustration. At the same time, we live in this world where, even though we all are speaking English right now, online content is about 20% English, and we're seeing the rise of what effectively is a Chinese internet and a Brazilian internet and a Russian internet. And so more and more people expect to be served in their own language. And that's where we come in. We enable these companies to not have to worry about language. Now, how do we do this? We do this because we've created this platform that fundamentally is the world's translation layer. We started by focusing on customer service as the first use case, but eventually this will be expanded into every single business use case within a company, whether it's marketing, whether it is video, whether it is intercompany communication, it won't matter. And the way we're doing it is we're combining artificial intelligence and a crowd of humans. Now, AI is a very vague term, so what do I mean by artificial intelligence in this case? For us, that means a bunch of things that relate to language. Specifically, we're doing customer-adapted neural machine translation. It's a big name, but it's a neural network that is focused on translation and is constantly being adapted to a specific customer needs. Then on top of that, we have things like quality estimation and a bunch of other AI tools that help humans as they translate. But the fundamental idea is that you have this set of AI technologies, and then you have a crowd, which right now is about 110,000 people worldwide working in this platform. And the combination of both creates this very interesting outcome, which is a very, very scalable platform that enables you to translate things in an incredible speed with very high quality. And then the benefits of this is that the AI is constantly learning from everything that the humans do, and the humans are constantly being improved by all of the AI technology. For us, this means that eventually, everything that has to do with communication in different languages will just be seamless. That's kind of how we think about the world, is translation in a way is not really the goal. Translation is a utility that's going to enable you to do a bunch of other things. Now, in terms of Unbabel's story, I mean, I was asked to talk a little bit about how do we got here? Right? What does it mean to be a growth startup? For us, this started in 2013. We were the first company going through Y Combinator, this incubator in Silicon Valley. And now we're about 150 people. So headquarters here in Lisbon, Portugal. We have about 140 people here. And we do, in Portugal, pretty much everything. So product, technology, operations, sales. And now we are expanding in the US. So we have an office in New York, we have an office in London, small sales offices, and we're now growing a bigger office in San Francisco that is customer facing. So meaning all the functions that support a customer journey, from sales to customer support to implementation, et cetera. Now, what we've seen is this journey. When we started in 2013, I think it was really the first week of 2014, for the first time, we actually turned this on for a customer. So we did, I think, about $20 that day or that week. It was like, I don't know, 100 words. It was just a hello world kind of moment for us. It took us about 3 years, really, to create the infrastructure and the technology to get to a point where we could start servicing customers. It was a little bit of a schlep, like most startups are. And it meant that we really had to think through on what is the right use case. How do we actually build the tools and the tech stack that we need to have this combination? We had this very naive idea that you take some humans and you put it on top of a machine translation engine and you got quality. It doesn't really work that way. It took a long time to really understand how this hybrid model of human and AI can really be successful. Nowadays, we're doing about 1.5 million words a day. Now, this 1.5 million words are just the words that humans are actually touching in the platform. So if you think about Unbabel as a stream, as a platform, there's a ton of things going through, and a percentage of those constantly is being edited and improved by humans. That's what this 1.5 million words a day is, and it's about a 600% increase since last year. So to give you a sense, 2 years ago, we started actually going to the market. Last year, we had about 1,000% growth. This year, we're on track to have another 300% growth year, so it's been, it's been very intense. But for me, I think one of the metrics that really drives my pride is more of the impact that we're having. It's the amount of words a day that we're translating. And why? Because we're on this mission right now to be able to translate 25% of all of the world's digital customer service interactions. We want to do this in the next 5 years. Why is this important? Because if you think about it, there's literally billions and billions of customer service interactions a day. There's millions of companies that are employing thousands and thousands of people just to deal with specific languages. And usually, every time they do that, they're adding to the frustration of the customers that can't have access to the right customer service in the right language. We want to help solve this problem. And so, even though Unbabel as a vision is going to service a number of industries and a number of use cases, just this first use case alone is a mission that is going to take a few years to get to. In the future, what we're seeing is, even though right now I'm talking a lot about customer service because it's something that we're very focused on, what we're seeing in the future is a drive towards a combination of humans and artificial intelligence. So think about it this way. At Unbabel, the use case is translation right now. So you have AI helping humans, humans helping AI. And to give you a sense of the impact that has at this moment, typically outside of Unbabel, a human would translate about 400 words an hour. Inside Unbabel, because of all of the AI, they're doing about 2,000 words an hour. So there's immediately a more than 3x increase on the productivity of humans because of AI. What we're seeing in the future is the expansion of this through to a bunch of other work. In our case, probably for a long time, anything that has to do with language, but it's the continuation of this hybrid model, of this fusion of human and AI, where instead of creating a space of fear that humans are going to lose jobs, we're actually empowering them to be much more productive and to have a bigger impact into everything that they do. As our community continues to grow, as we expand, for example, this year we're still very focused in Europe and the US. Next year, we're going to start looking at Asia because it's the fastest growing market for language. China is driving a huge demand for it. But fundamentally, we believe that Unbabel is going to be one of the key players in enabling us to understand how to drive the symbiosis of humans and AI. Thank you.